Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Upsurge Premier League. We had a little bit of trouble starting, but here we are. It's time to finally go here between Valkyrie and Project Neo. A game I personally really wanted to get into because, honestly, this is going to be a really, really fun one. So, I'm joined with Crater here, usually on the production board, but this time he is going to be my co-caster. This is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm stepping out from behind the curtain to help Jasmine here today. Looking at map bans, you can see we're going to theme park. Honestly, I know pretty much nothing about these teams, so I mean theme park. It's one of those maps you hate to see it in ranked, but you love to see it in competitive play. So hopefully these teams will, give us a good show.
Absolutely, I think that's a good way to put it. It's one of those maps where it's not a ranked map, but in competitive Siege, it's really fun. We don't want to waste too much time here. We're going to hop in very, very shortly. But like you said, theme park, super, super exciting in competitive aspects. I'm really excited to see these two teams who honestly have a lot of story right now. So we have Ant on Project Neo now. So Ant has decided that he's not going to run AGN at this very moment in time, and he's instead going to play. But on the side of Valkyrie, we have Mr. B, who his former team was Project Neo, but now he's IGLing for Valkyrie. So let's see. This is going to be really interesting to see Mr. B play up against his former allies, now turned enemies, and also having Ant get into it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know a lot more about these teams than I do. I just recognize the Valkyrie logo because of like the one time when I was like really bored.
It is a nice logo.
Amateur R6. It is a nice logo. I will say. I have to give major props. I mean, it's a bunch of pixels on my screen, but from memory, it looks pretty good. And honestly, because of that, there's not much else that I can say. I think historically, Theme Park has been a defender-sided map, and Valkyrie are starting on the defense, so that is something to think about. I don't know. Bans, I guess. What bans would be standard here?
I think most of these are standard. I'm just more so surprised that both these teams want theme, seeing as Oregon and Clubhouse. I mean, Clubhouse is usually just a staple in competitive. The first ban from Project Neo. Cafe has also been pretty popular, but we're about to hop in here to our one map here. This is just one best of one between Project Neo and Valkyrie, so let's get into it. No more delaying. We're going to finally hop in to Theme Park.
I don't know. I'm just filling time. But here we are in the ban phase. Valkyrie are going to start off since they are the defending team. They are going to start off with a Thatcher ban, actually. Again, it's become a very popular ban ever since pros, honestly, have started banning out Thatcher a lot. It's just, I mean, it's just become a comfort ban at this point, I think. The meta's kind of shifted over. Ying as well, I think that one's more a T3 type ban. You just want to get rid of those, the cancer ops, the ones that can throw flashbangs everywhere. Clear ADS.
Awful operator. Devil herself. I don't like Ying. I actually hate Ying in every aspect. She's not fun to play against. She's not fun to watch. She's just an operator to play, like fun. That's fun to play, but then you just know how cheap you are. Yeah, right. Well. And I'm expecting an echo. Oh, okay. So we have a clash instead. This is intriguing, actually. I'm gonna assume this is another one of those pro league influence bans because a lot of teams have been running clash on theme park.
Oh, man, I was gonna say this is one of those T3 bans.
You think so? Because I don't really see this one a lot, to be honest.
Well, Clash is just another one of those headache operators, I feel like.
Right.
The shield, it slows you down, it eats away at your health, but not enough to be serious unless it happens a lot. So it's I feel like it's another one of those T3 bans. Like, each of these teams they traded off, they get one standard ban and one T3 ban. I cannot believe X24 stuck the Cav.
And Teddy stuck the Finka. I think I'm starting to understand where this game is heading in terms of direction.
Someone reviewed APAC or something. That's the kind of picks we're seeing today. I didn't even pay attention to the site. It's going to be initiation.
this is loud. So it seems like okay. So this is an interesting lineup. We got.
I didn't even notice the Oryx either.
Yeah, this is interesting. I don't want to call it a meme too quick, but it seems like this might be a meme match.
I mean, you
because
can
they're
just
all
tell
positioned.
also just how the players are kind of setting up and like moving all around.
They
the
are
map.
all
These guys
sitting and
all
going.
over the place. They are
They're-
not taking this seriously at all. I mean,
They're going. They're knife fighting. They're
oh,
knife
is that what's
fighting.
gonna happen?
I think they're
Oh,
knife
okay.
fighting.
Yeah, you got Seafuls on the Nomad, looking like that's what we're gonna get. Yep. Attackers
Man,
are
Ant
allowed.
Ant begged me in Twitter DMs to cast his opening match, and he decides that let's just make it not serious. Come on, man.
I mean,
I'm not always against meme matches, but this is just kind of dumb. All right, here we go. Anyway, knife fighting.
wasn't
Nomad
knocked
not
out.
affected at all, and the Platyfin
bad.
coming in. So 4v4 nades are tossed, and wow, it's all up to one, and Project Neo just sweep immediately. They didn't even take that much time to get this through.
not exactly a flawless round, but I mean,
Close to one.
okay, that happened. I guess I don't know what else can we really say. They had a knife fight.
There's just not that much to say. This is gonna be frustrating. I can already tell. I don't know if they're gonna be serious from here on. Let's just hope that they are.
It's looking like the compositions look a little more. I mean, the most off pick you're seeing is a Montaigne, but even then, teams will run Montaigne when they're seriously, trying to push something. Site's gonna be Armory. Another more standard pick. Initiation is more of a third site on this map, so maybe we'll see a serious game. And if not, I mean,
Attackers need to locate.
it's gonna be a
and
long
defuse
one,
the bomb.
guys. It's gonna feel long.
Yep. Project N now on attack. So right now it's the question of how are Valkyrie gonna hold this against the Montaigne. I mean, she playing on this Montaigne is just gonna be super frustrating. And honestly, I feel like it's a really good pick for this site because Montaigne is just super reliable, and on a site that's just so defender-sided compared to the rest of the map, like Armory and Throne, this could be a really, really useful pick for Project Neo.
Maybe I'm just feeling like a contrarian today, but I'm honestly going to have to disagree. I feel like this site is vertical enough. It requires kind of a top floor hold, and you can see X24, Mr. B, and Jolts up there right now. Because of that, I feel like Monty would actually be at a disadvantage. It's difficult for him to contest vertically because he doesn't have a very good weapon, and his shield only really works in one direction. So,
Well,
I think
you also have to keep in mind that Throne is not destructible from up top, and
is
he
it
can
not?
no,
It
and he can just
definitely is. Oh,
it's
well,
not.
Throne
That's
may
why
not
it's
be, but the other.
Armor,
the
yeah,
other-
Armory is. Armory becomes super difficult whenever you go for a yellow push, and that's what Valkyrie set up for. They have a setup going for a yellow push in case that happens, but usually your Montaigne isn't really the operator that goes for the yellow push. You just want to have him at a doorway where he can just hold off, not
Right.
take gunfights, and flush people out, but right now that's not what he's doing. Instead, it's going to be the roam clear. It's going to be him challenging X24, deciding that he wants to basically push him out of this position. He's got my magnets, but nothing to really counter this Montaigne at this very moment in time. All he can do is just hold strong and hold this position along with Jolts, who is sitting all the way over in bunk, and I'm super intrigued to see how this goes.
Yeah, you can see Wamai on X24 holding fast in his position behind that deployable shield. I'm surprised there isn't much nade utility being used to kind of burn it. I know he's protected by some of those discs, but they have a drone on him. They know he's there. They also look like they're spotting out some of those crossfires, but it shouldn't be too hard to just push the Wamai out of this position, and they're wasting a lot of time just sitting there. So this is really starting to go into the favor of the defense. Some shots coming out from the Wamai, nothing going to connect just yet, but Ant on almost 1 HP. X24 to take down Teddy to start off for the defense. Monty will unextend and actually get that kill, vaulting over the shield. That was not expected. Evening things out now. Looks like it's anyone's round.
That's a gunfight that you usually coin flip on. I mean, the spread on that Monty shield is just exponential, and the fact that he was able to get away with that kill surprises me. Jolts above, he takes down Platyfin, so still on the roam here. He is actually all the way over in Drug. Valkyrie, the rest of them positioned on the western side of this map. Neo gonna start to move their way down here. You can see they still have hard breach utility, and you know, you have to think like maybe if Ant ended up dying from that wall mine, this could be a completely different round. But it seems like Ant is gonna be able to open up this wall without much issue here. Blastful coming in with the Kaid trick. This might just be perfectly timed, and oh, it is excellent timing there from Blastful, as I believe he would have taken down every single X-Kairos, and now Seafuls is going to have to do this the hard way, but with only 20 seconds left, do they really have the time to go for this Maverick trick? Chi going to start to open up the Dragon door, and now it's just going to become a battle of gunfights because the time is super low. Ant coming in, he's got the diffuser. The wall's not going to fall. That's absolutely massive. Now all of Project Neo are going to have to flush in through that doorway. Blastful will meet them at the mark, and now Seafuls not dying to the C4, but instead to Mr. B, and Valkyrie going to take round number 2. Or basically round number 1. Unfortunately, the wall not falling down, just absolutely massive. And I mean, it's really risky. You know, he's gonna make it super jank, right? It's not gonna be a really easy Maverick trick whenever you only have 25 seconds on the clock. Just a lot of time spent clearing upstairs, and that's gonna come back to haunt them as they weren't able to get into the site.
I mean, did the Maverick even have soft breach like a Zofia or someone close enough to him to cap it? I'm not sure what he was trying to do. I think at that point it might have been more worth it to help out with the execute. It doesn't really matter anyway, since they were all forced to funnel in that one angle. And now the defense will move over to Drug Lab, which, I mean, again, I really only play this map in ranked, so but that's not the usual site rotation I see. I don't see a lot of Drug Lab, to be honest. I've seen a lot of Bunk and a lot of Initiation, but I haven't actually seen Drug Lab. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. I have seen Drug Lab. But I don't know if it's the established second site, I guess.
Right.
Is the point that I'm trying to get at.
I think your more established site is the Bunk site, but right now what Valkyrie are going to rely on is exactly what they had going for them last round, and that is offsite control. It worked super well last time. They wasted almost a minute and a half, I think, at that point, even more than that. So I feel like going into Drug is a good choice, because then you're going to have to force Neo to do the same thing again, run through this obstacle course that they have with the Montaigne, which they weren't able to do the first time around. So I feel like they're going for it, because really in Drug, there's only one place that you can hold, and that is the initiation side, and you don't really waste a lot of time doing that. It's just like a default thing that you push. But with this site, you can waste so much time. You have so many options. I mean, you can extend over into Throne. You can do what it seems like Valkyrie are doing and extend upstairs. Or you can do both. And I think that is what they're set up to do. That's the typical way of doing it, is just having maybe 1 or 2 people inside of the Armory and Throne location. Then you have a few up top. So that's why I feel like they're running this site. And let's see how Valkyrie are going to let's see how Project Neo, rather, are going to respond to this. Because last time, again, they had a lot of trouble when it came to that offsite presence.
That's very true. That last round, there was a lot of time wasted, about 2 minutes, which is pretty much the entire round from that perspective. So if Valkyrie are able to keep up a roam like that again, and I mean, it wasn't even so much on their roam, it was more about Project Neo being very inefficient with their clears. They need to be more aggressive to snuff out those crossfires and isolate those gunfights if they hope to take a map like Theme Park, which already favors the defense. You can see now the Montaigne is pushing out. He's going to contest with Jolts. He's going to fire off a few shots before getting off of the angle. Playtofin now behind the Monty, giving him support with that ACOG on the Zofia. But you can see Mr. B is ready with the crossfire. Maverick of Seafuls is going to be trying to get the wall as well. They're looking at any avenue they can to try to force these roamers out of position. But look at that. The timer is still ticking down. We've got about half the round gone already. First breach is going to come out. X24 to respond with the C4 to take out Chi. Now another advantage towards the defenders. However, traded quickly is going to be that Mozzie from Playtofin. Now it's even, but I would say this seriously favors the defense as they regroup on the site to make sure they can hold that final execute.
You have to wonder if they're going to even challenge this Armory side, because honestly, if they don't, X24 and Blastful could collapse on top of the site whenever Neo go for their execute. They're still wasting a lot of time upstairs. As you can see, Seafuls working on that wall by himself. Seems like he has nobody to help him with that. Really, I mean, not having anyone to help him.
Right? They can tell that no one's in there, and
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is just really poor coordination, honestly, from Project Neo. They're in their final minute. All the defenders have fallen off the top floor. There's no one there, and yet the attackers are still sitting here as if they have no idea what what are they looking for? Drones finally coming out from Seafolds, and now they realize that no one's actually on the top floor. But at this point, it's pretty much too late. We're already within the final 30 seconds. Ant gonna drop the stairs. Oh no, a missed opportunity from Teddy, and it's going to be capitalized from Valkyrie. Kills going out on both sides. And we don't really know who comes out on top. Oh, it's going to be Valkyrie. Very, very decisively. A 3 versus 1. Seafolds all alone going down the same yellow stairs. He can't find the smoke to kill his teammate. He's also going to have to pick up the diffuser. He won't even find one, though. It's going to be Valkyrie to take that round.
Really, really decisive round there again from Valkyrie. A lot of time wasted, like you said. Minimal to none drone work in terms of whenever they wanted to clear upstairs. I mean, you saw Seafolds coming in with literally, I think, like 40 seconds left. There was absolutely nothing when it came to that drone work. That, I feel like, is an IGL call, right? I feel like that's just an issue of an IGL. You have to keep in mind, when they lost Mr. B, when Project Neo lost Mr. B, they lost their IGL. So that's really tough. In that case, if they had Mr. B, you know, he would have been the one to go, all right, drone in, get drones upstairs and start moving up. There's no one really to do that. There's no one really to decide that. It seems like Neo are just kind of in their own heads thinking about what they need to do instead of what the team needs to do. And that just tells you that there's either an inexperienced IGL or just there isn't an IGL.
It could be a lack of leadership, but also I think it's just poor discipline and practice. It should be habitual at this point for these players to know, okay, we've got to get drones out. We've got to use intel. Intel is one of the most important things in Siege. It can basically be the difference between winning and losing a round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, their drone work look... Jeez, that drone... Well, anyway, yeah, like you said, I mean, just the drone work looks good in the early ways. Like, I feel like they have their entry into the map pretty well laid out. To be fair, that's something for you, but they don't have that late drone. They don't have that late game drone work, and that's really hurting them. It's like you said. I mean, it comes down to 20-second executes. We talk about the 20-second meta. And honestly, I don't even think that's at work here. I literally think it's just Neo hesitating to get in.
Yeah, I honestly do. They get their little foothold into the map, a couple gunfights come out, and then they absolutely stall out. And honestly, I'm not sure what's happening. I want to assume that these teams are both relatively experienced in competitive play, and that's honestly something pretty standard. Like now, you can see Ant droning in, play to fin his teammate into cash room. He's going to see that nothing is there. But again, once you know that it's clear, push in, establish those holds. Get that control of the map. You can see now finally pushing in, but again, it looks like this stall. Minutes already gone. How much control do the attackers really have?
You have Jolt sitting inside of initiation, and you have Blastful to clear out as well. You actually have 4. I would say, like, I know I'm gonna say you have 4 challenging this, and it seems really obvious because that's where the site is, but honestly, you have 4 lines of defense right now. You have Jolts, you have Rated back in sight. This is gonna be really tough here, and you also have X24 or X24 on the roam. I'm interested to see what he does. He might be a late game flank because it seems like by the looks of it, he's sitting inside of Dragon right now. Here comes the first challenger into Cash. Nade gonna catch out 2 Amai, so I mean, I guess you got 1 Amai there.
Really smart. So you had the frag grenade, right? And it got caught in the first disc, and it basically destroyed the other one. Which
so
is,
now,
I mean...
Oh!
Yeah.
Wait, Blastful's actually going to hop right back on this, though. I thought Blastful was going to reinforce off and just... Okay, so he is. Rated going to get the first kill. There it is. Finally committing to the reinforce, and now Blastful has reinforced off that balcony so he can play that safely and challenge 1 doorway. That is extremely smart. And you can see the rest of Neo gonna start to funnel in because they still have Jolts inside of initiation. He is gonna get fallen though. Rated is still behind those Seafolds and Ant gonna get themselves inside of initiation. This is absolutely huge. This is looking good here for Neo, but as I say that, Teddy gonna lose his life. Mr. B, a shot onto Ant. She will trade off into Rated. It's a 3 versus 2. Still have X24 underneath though. 35 seconds remaining here, and this is the fastest we've seen Project Neo actually die out as Mr. B will take the head off of Seafolds. A nice angle here from Blastful might net him a kill. It's a 3 versus 1. Deciding to swing. They're not going to play this safe. They're going to play for kills. And now it just comes down to Chi. Chi just really in a rough spot right now. He has not many options. Every option that he has is cut off by a crossfire. And he's just going to save his life. It's going to be another round here for Valkyrie. Would be a 4-0 if we didn't have a knife round, probably.
Probably. We can't really know, but he's really just going to be saving the op there. And Valkyrie will take that round on time. And I mean, it's really the same mistakes. The attacks from Project Neo are just very weak. If you don't feel confident, here's the thing. It's all about drones. You drone out for those crossfires. If you see how the defense is holding and you don't feel confident pushing it, drone somewhere else. Look to see if you can maybe take from a different angle, maybe through Cafe and Arcade, which, I mean, it looks like the defense was less ready to defend that part of the map. So you never know, but that's the thing is use that intel, but also capitalize on intel that you've been given. The thing is, I feel like, I mean, it feels like Project Neo right now are playing with all their discords muted or something. I don't know, but it feels like they're not really talking to each other. That feeling of coordination you get from seeing a team where, you know, it feels like if one person knows something, the whole team knows something. And we're just not really seeing that from Project Neo. You've got these very split takes, and they're trying to just, you know, go, maybe they're trying to go for like multi-pronged attacks, but the defenders are being very good at isolating those 1v1s and basically trapping attackers on their own and whittling down their numbers little by, you know, bit by bit. And that's what we're seeing so far, is that the defenders don't really have to do anything. The attackers are playing right into their hand. They're not forcing the game in any way.
Right, and I feel like the big problem with that is, honestly, the way that this map works, there's a lot of places where you can just get pinched, and Valkyrie are taking beautiful advantage of that. I mean, you can see there's the way the strats are working. I mean, they have these pins where it's like, you see, you have X24 playing for Office, so you can't push into Office. You have a player playing inside of Initiation, so what's your only option? One tiny little hallway that leads into Meeting, where lines of sight could be opened literally anywhere, and it's really smart. Again, the way that Valkyrie are playing this. So, see how X24 holds off. Last time he really was the match winner, I would say. The amount of time that he was able to stall out here. Platifin starting to work his way into Cash, and
oh,
what the heck? Is that a visual? Is that a visual bug? What am I looking at?
No. It looks like the players are talking about it too. I guess those are going to be really easy to clear out. I don't know, but it looks like a similar kind of hold coming out from Valkyrie, but the question is, are we going to see a similar kind of attack? Shots coming out around the shield. One person's already injured. That's going to be Platifin on the attack. Looks like he's just going to opt to withstand, but no, the C4 catches him before he has the chance. And now the defenders once again starting things off with an opening kill. And with that, Jolts and X24 are just going to fall off. They're going to basically quit while they're ahead, and this has really been working for Valkyrie, because look how much time the attackers are going to waste not droning out those angles. I mean, they don't really need control of that part of the map. It looks like they are just going to instead opt to break out the floor, see how they can attack the site. But this is the part where in the past, so far, this match, Project Neo have really started to stall out. You can see Ant, he's going to be detected by the pulse, gets in a bit of a gunfight with Mr. B, I think, but no one able to get a kill from that. And now it's, again, a bit of a stall. Who knows if Project Neo are going to be able to mount and execute off of this current setup.
They've gotten a lot more time than last time. They have themselves upstairs. They have a soft breach alive, so maybe Chi can start getting... Oh, gotta be careful with that one, man. But maybe Chi can hop on that, and we actually have a lot of progress here from Project Neo, given what happened last time. Blastful gonna rotate back into site here. The problem right now is that all of Valkyrie is alive, and you can't say the same for Project Neo, as Jolts is gonna take down Teddy. Now it's a 5 versus 3, and Raiden has constant intel. Ant is gonna fall next by Blastful, and now it's a 5 versus 2. It literally has come down 2 lives at this point. Seafoam's gonna die out next, and Chi in a 1 versus 5. I never thought I would see a possible flawless. Honestly, this was looking like a pretty decent round here from Project Neo. They got their progress in, but now it's just Chi, and he's gonna do what he does best, and he's gonna save his KD. Not even attempting this round. Valkyrie will be up 4-1.
He's taking that attack pause as Valkyrie take the half. There's no way that Project Neo are going to be able to come back until they swap sides at the very least. X24 is pretty unhappy with how that round ended. He wanted to try to pad the siege GG. But honestly, I'm gonna take a guess and say that Project Neo just haven't practiced this map. They seem very uncomfortable on Theme Park, much less comfortable than the defense. And part of it is just the nature of just being on attack. It's a little harder to strat for attack, but there are definitely ways you should practice clearing, and it looks like Project Neo haven't done that. Mr. B faking out the Caveira for the Mozzie, but that should be a pretty easy read. I mean, they are going to lab again, so you can assume that they're going to take pretty much the same composition. I mean, for Valkyrie, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, it seems
Right.
like, apart from the knife fight, the Neo haven't even been able to get close to winning a round. So there's really not much else to say, I think.
I mean, honestly, if I wasn't comfortable with Theme Park and Valkyrie whipped out these strats on me, I would, oh my goodness, I would have given up at this point. The strats that are being run by Valkyrie are just genius. I mean, they work so effectively, and the best part is that they're open to rotations, right? So if, let's say, we'll go back to Blastful and how he was playing inside of Vault, right? He put on a shield, and he sat inside of Rafters, and he took gunfights, but he never took damage, right? So what did he do? He rotated, reinforced his rotation so that Project Neo couldn't challenge him, and it came down to a doorway struggle. Blastful could rotate back off, and speaking of Blastful, again, kind of unthought of, but he was able to rotate down yellow and into sight, and made it a 5 versus 5 inside of the bomb site. That's why a lot of early picks went in the way of Valkyrie, because he was able to take those gunfights comfortably, or have all 5 players take those gunfights comfortably. That's why whenever all 5 players were inside of sight, Project Neo were just losing bodies. It's a really smart way to play this map, and Valkyrie are just using it to their advantage. Platifin wasting absolutely no time now getting inside, and it seems like Valkyrie are taking a more horizontal approach of this, as Mr. B is the only player sitting upstairs.
Yeah, he was droned in there by Ant's Gemini decoy. I don't know if it was shot out or if he just ran out of time on it, but it looks like Project Neo are going to be making their way and taking over pretty much most of the top floor. Doesn't look like there's that much of a hold coming out from Valkyrie, as all their players are down below, but they should have C4s a lot. Like, I mean, they have a Mute, they have a Pulse, they have a Mozzie. Those can all bring C4, and they're all, yep, just as I say that, Mr. B with the first one. And that will get a kill. A second one from Blastful with his SMG. Plain and simple. Actually off a run out. So again, it's just these isolated gunfights. Valkyrie are doing very well to isolate them and force these attackers in 1v1s. Another one from Blastful. That's his second on the round. He's going to go for a third. It's not going to be him. I don't think it's Mr. B instead. And the last one is going to be again from Blastful. That's his third. And Valkyrie will have a flawless round. And honestly, it seems at this point, they've just absolutely moved into the heads of Project Neo, rent-free, as some like to say.
As the kids would say.
as the kids are saying these days. It's,
Yep.
I don't know.
This is really tough to watch. Project Neo, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of what you'd expect. This is a really unrecognizable roster compared to what Project Neo once had, and with the expertise of Mr. B, 2 years of experience, and the rest of this roster on Valkyrie being very well organized with each other, I think that Blastful has been a long time player on this roster. I think he was even there since the very beginning, so like this is kind of his roster. And you have this experience with this team, and you have these excellent strategies that every single round are consistently being executed with flawless communication. And with Project Neo, you have sort of the opposite. You have a little less communication on their end. You can see that they're very scrambled. They're taking this as if it was ranked, where you have, just individuals doing individual things. I will say the intel game has definitely been stepped up from Project Neo. They finally understand what they're looking at, and that's led to a little bit more faster rounds and a little bit more faster executions. I.e., the second bunk take, I think, was really nice. I think they were able to the second armory take. They were able to get upstairs within a minute's time, or like 2 minutes time, better than original. It's not that good, but it's better. you know.
Yeah,
So,
but again, I mean, if you can't translate that into an execute, then it's pretty much useless.
Right.
However, now the sides have swapped. We get to see, at least for a couple rounds, what Neo are going to do to try to defend this map. So you instead now have Valkyrie on the attack, and honestly, I want to believe that they have a chance to come back, but a 5-1 is, I mean, that's a pretty decided half no matter which map you're looking at, even though Valkyrie started on the defense. And now you can see them all wasting no time. Looks like they've got their drones out. Jolt's going to be leading Mr. B into Cafe, making sure it's all clear, but there doesn't seem to be any vertical hold from the side of Neo, and it seems like it's going to stay that way. I don't know what they're doing as far as intel is concerned. They don't have any intel operators, so they're just going to be relying on those default cameras. And it looks like they've pretty much given away the whole top floor. This could actually come back to bite them. You've got soft breach from Mr. B, as well as Jolts and Blastful if he's got that shotgun. And Valkyrie would do well to take advantage of that. 1 minute down. Oh no, a C4. What was that? Into barrels from Teddy. That was a huge misplay there from Jolts. That's one of your soft breach down, and my gosh, that was quite a misplay. And I mean, that could be the confidence boost that Neo need to possibly propel the momentum in their favor.
whether they know it or not, they literally just alleviated so much pressure onto the Armory side, and that's going to really help out the players on Project Neo. As it seems like Valkyrie are going to start to take this to the yellow side, where you can see Rated rotating all the way over here. You have Anthauer positioned inside a Gong, I believe, with Goyo shields as well, so he could really be a linchpin in this round here. Chi as well. This crossfire is going to be quite interesting. You can see Chi rotating out of Fly and making his way back into the site. Yellow Wall gonna fall with not a lot of friction. No mute jammers, no Kaids. So at least Valkyrie getting that on their hands, but this is looking really rough for them. Obviously, they don't have a lot of map control. Vastful is actually above, though, and Mr. B will take down Seafull. So as I say, this pressure starting to be alleviated. Mr. B on the entry right now. An interesting X24 loadout here will get the kill onto Platofin. And 54 seconds remain, and now Project Neo really need to rotate back. Ant has no options right now in terms of getting back into the site. Smoke grenades are going to come on down here. You can see Rated getting in position for the plant. The first plant I think we've seen possibly going down here, and there's nothing to deny it. He's gotten the plant down for the first time this entire match. We're going to have a retake in place here for Project Neo. Can they get it done? It's a 3 versus 3. Diffuser down. Time is ticking. Rated gonna take down Chi in the process. You can see Mr. B rotating over, sorry, X24 rotating over to pressure over onto that southeastern side of the map. And Valkyrie have a lot going for them, but oh no! Mute has taken down one of the players that's Rated to go down in X24. It's all up to Blastful. He should have an angle up above to watch that diffuser. But he is gonna decide to rotate down into yellow. He has the audible Q now, and it's gonna fake this out. And Blastful has all the time in the world. Ant has no other option but to stick this. And Blastful knows that. Will be Valkyrie to take the 7th round. And now we are on match point at the blink of an eye.
Well, it's definitely goes to show that the only time we got a diffuser down was when Valkyrie were on the attack. And I think it definitely speaks towards the coordination coming out from Valkyrie. I mean, they made mistakes. Valkyrie are not by any means an untouchable team. We saw that round. They were making a lot of mistakes, and they definitely threw a few bodies where they didn't need to, especially the C4 being one example. But I mean, that doesn't really matter when, I mean, Project Neo just seemed to be playing it worse and making more mistakes. Their retake was, I mean, not great. But again, they forfeited top floor, and because of that, the attack were able to just get it. The reason why there wasn't any Kaid, Electroclaws, or Mute Jammers down on that wall is because Blastful was upstairs with the Jackal, having the vertical angle with no contest. So you can see now the defenders are going to try for bunk. They're not going to go again on Armory. Don't want to risk that again. And I mean, at this point, Project Neo are playing for their lives, whereas Valkyrie at this point, they're just having fun with it. They've got a couple rounds to throw if they wanted.
Interested to see how this is gonna go, because it seems like their loadout is pretty much similar. They might just want to get this game over with, and unfortunately for Project Neo, we could be staring down the end of the game. And it's not the best debut, Ant. You wanted me to gas you up. Here's your gas up. This is not your best debut, man. I'm sorry. It's just truth. Wait, what's his KD? What's Ant's KD? Ant's on Jaeger. He must have decent amount of kills, right?
I can't hear Jasmine because he's muted in Discord.
Did I press my mute button on accident?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I have it binded to the most, like, I have it binded on bracket buttons. Like, how do I accidentally mute myself on Discord? Well, I mean, at least the stream heard me. All I'm saying is that this is not Ant's greatest performance because he said he wanted me to gas him up. He said he wanted me to gas him up on his
how's he doing
debut.
right now? Can we see the scoreboard or the okay?
3 and 6. Okay.
So that's about my average rank game.
I can't
It
confirm.
isn't where you want to be.
Valkyrie wasting no time though. I mean, they've already gotten themselves up, and oh, what a massive C4 from Platafin! Really nice pre-place there, and whether he knows it or not, he's taking down Mr. B as well, who is going to withstand here on 5 HP. And Project Neo just got quite the how do I word this?
It was quite the response.
Explosive start.
Yeah, that was definitely a great start.
Get it?
From them.
Get it?
Haha, I get it.
Oh, but Ant, he has the Mozzie drone on. This could be huge. He's peeking up onto Mr. B, who just in time shot the drone. And this is actually huge now. Neo starting to collapse on Valkyrie's attack that once was. And it seems like we might just mark ourselves another round here for Project Neo.
Well, I said they had rounds to throw. X2 4 capitalizing on Teddy throwing his body instead. But at this point, it's just no, Blastful actually trying to even this man count even further. Valkyrie are still in this round. They're not ready to give it up. I guess that's the difference between these two teams, at least one of the differences. You can see the Jackal track coming out onto the Jaeger. It's going to be Ant now, who has to run around. They've got the intel on him from the pings. At this point, a 2 versus 3. I want to say it's in the advantage of the defense, who only have to defend a minute longer. But who knows? Blastful and X24 have proven themselves as capable players. You can see Blastful going out, trying to finish that kill on the Jaeger. He'll get Chi first. He knows that Jaeger's in the closet. He's going to try for it. He's going to get it. That's a triple kill from Blastful. X24 to finish it off. And Valkyrie bring it back from a 4 versus 2. And that is Theme Park. It is in the books. Valkyrie with a 7-1 victory. Would have been a 7-0 without the knife fight, but let's be honest.
That right there is one of the most unexpected things that I've ever seen come out of Valkyrie. The clutch players, Blastful and X24, coming out on top here. It was a 2 versus 5, but they were able to do it. Valkyrie will take the lead 7-1. And Project Neo are going to go down pretty rough. That is just not the start that you want. To a new team, to a new roster, and to a new career. I'm looking at you, Ant. Jeez, oh my,
well,
what a
it is
game.
Definitely back to the drawing board for Project Neo. I mean, if they are a new roster, like you're saying, Valkyrie seem to have more established players. I wouldn't really know. I don't actually follow Tier 3 that closely. But, I would take this as a learning opportunity from Project or for Project Neo. Things that they might be able to kind of look at and hopefully fix. It was mostly just their team play. I'm sure at the individual level, each player is skilled as, single players, but when it becomes a 5-on-5 team fight, the ability to coordinate intel and coordinate pushes makes those gunfights all the more difficult for individual players. So if I had anything to say to Project Neo, it would be that, just to make sure, I don't know, fix your team play. Be a team. Don't be 5 individuals.
That's a really good way to put it, and I feel like that's a good place to end it off here, because honestly, you're right. You're absolutely right. I will say that is probably the best way to put it. Don't be 5 individuals. You might have the most skilled team, but you have to have teamwork in Siege. It is just needed. This isn't Call of Duty. So, congrats to Valkyrie, who definitely showed up on top as the better team. I'm not going to say the better players, but definitely the better team. Congrats to them on this victory. And thank you guys so much for watching. A very quick best of one to wrap up our night here. I've been Jazzman. Thank you so much to Crater for joining along with me for this cast. Thank you for watching if you did, and enjoy the rest of your night.